I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.
Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I was just a passenger in my daughter's car. My 15-year-old, soon-to-be 16-year-old daughter drove us here. She's got a tutoring lesson, so I'll be here for the next hour talking to you about immigration. This is episode number 804 of the Immigration Answer Show. Hello, Rocio, and everybody else who's watching. There is the link. I'm sporting my orange hoodie today. How are you guys all doing? Good to be with you. Episode 804. Today's April 6th, and it's 11:30 in the morning. Remember, when we are on with me, we use a different name, or we at least don't use our last name, and we're off camera. So that's how we've changed it up in Trumplandia. So I'm going to get the show started and talk to Cameron, and then Mkhtar, and then Corinne, and then we'll go from there. Hello, Cameron.
Hey, my bad.
No worries.
Hey, sir. I just wanted to follow up with you. The last time we spoke, I had mentioned it had been about 4 months since my son's permanent resident card had gotten delivered. I followed up with them on an occasion of about 2 times, and they got that ball rolling. The card's been delivered. However, I wanted to foreshadow the future briefly. So next year in the summer, we're gonna have to apply for the I-751. And as me being active duty military, obviously, depending on what my current assignment status is, my address will change. So the final intended address that's on file, which is the address that they would ask for if we were to call about anything as of now, would be my mom's address, which that same address is on my driver's license. So I have like correspondence to justify why I even use that address in the first place. But my question is, when I was looking at the I-751, it asked one question as far as, have you lived outside of the United States before, and where have you lived since whenever? So my understanding is anytime that a spouse of a U.S. citizen lives outside of the United States, as long as they're on orders and their name is on those orders, that counts as time within the United States. So my question is, being that we'll be moving in the summer, there's no determined date as far as when we'll have an address corresponding to whatever housing situation we get into. So is that a concern? Whereas there will be a gap in, okay, so being more specific, we move from here July 3rd, we come to the US and I'm at my new station. Hypothetically, let's say we don't get housing until about August 10th. Is that a concern when it comes to that gap in time between you once lived here, but now you live here? Why didn't you tell us earlier? Because I watch you a lot. And that's something that you harp on a lot. Like you need to update USCIS whenever you physically move.
So when will you be filing for the I-751?
In July of 2026, next year.
So you're wondering about the gap and sort of how to update the address as you make your way back to the United States.
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, there's lots of things to worry about in immigration. This I think is not going to be a big deal for you. I don't think you need to worry about this. So I would take the position as you transition from wherever you are back to the United States that your official address is the one you've been using in the United States. And then once you get settled, just within 10 days of wherever you end up, update your address at that point, and then use your current physical address, your mailing address, whatever it is, up through now, until the day that you update your address, and then from the day you update your address, use that address until you file the 751.
Yes, and then following on to that, my second question was, it asked at one point, have you ever lived for my spouse, it would ask like, have you ever lived outside of the United States?
Yeah,
It's
you're just gonna answer
yes.
yes to all that. Yep, just play it straight. Just tell them the truth. It's not a big deal.
Okay. And then the final inquiry I have is, being that you stress the importance of filing correctly and there's no room for error, especially in the times that we're in now.
Yeah.
I have the information to reach out to you. You post your email all the time. Being that we're gonna file next summer in July, what is the earliest that we are authorized to reach out to you to start working this case and begin those negotiations?
Yeah, I would say like a month before you're eligible. So whenever, I would say 4 months until the expiration of her 2-year green card. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
so yeah, so I can reach out about 4 months ahead, just make sure I got all my stuff situated.
Right.
All right, Roger that. Thank you so much. You have a good one.
Thanks, Cameron. Thank you for your service. Be safe, okay?
Yes, you too.
See you, brother. All right, that was our friend Cameron calling back. Let's talk to Mkhtar. Hello, Mkhtar.
Hey Jim, this is Mkhtar. It's so good to see you virtually.
Thanks, man.
So I'm pretty good. I have a quick question. I'm actually an Afghan citizen. I moved to the US back in October of last year through the US Refugee Admission Program, which they call it P2 designation. Questions that I have, the first one is when I'm eligible to apply for green card. Number two, the visa that I have right now is for a year. What's going to happen or what's going to be the legal issue once my visa expires? Right now, I have a work permit that's valid through November of 2029.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I want to know, all these two questions.
So you entered on what kind of a visa did you have?
I have a priority 2 visa, and the visa was given to Afghans through the refugee admission program.
Well, I don't know because I've never handled a case like that, but just generally, a refugee can apply for their green card 1 year after they arrive, 1 year after the start of their status in the United States. So whenever that would be is probably when it's going to be. I'd probably want to research a little bit of it for you. And of course, at this particular moment, USCIS says that they're not going to process green card applications filed by asylees and refugees because they're full of shit and because they say they haven't been able to vet people like you enough before deciding whether or not to give you a green card. And you know better than I do that that's total bullshit because nobody gets vetted more than people that come as refugees. And that's especially true for people that come from Afghanistan. So generally, I think you can apply within a year. If you email me, I could probably nail that down for you. But what would if you were eligible right now and you applied, they would receipt it and then they would sit on it. They're going to get sued over it, I'm sure. But right now, everything's sort of on hold. But you should still go ahead and apply when you can.
All right. Well, I think that answered my question. So once my visa expires, let's say a year from now, less than a year from now, what is the legal document that I could present to support my legal status here? Is it going to be a work permit or is it going to be some other documents that I need to show?
Well, you have an I-94, right?
An
I-94. When you entered through, they gave you a stamp in your passport. It should be an I-94.
Yes.
Right. And so that's your entry into the United States. When did you enter the United States?
October of 2024.
Okay, so in theory, if I'm right, in November of this year, you'll file an I-45 to get your green card, I think.
Okay. Well, I think that answered my question. Again, I think I'm going to email you with the details and then we can take it from there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, sir. Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mkhtar. See you, buddy.
Thanks.
All right. That was our friend Mkhtar. We're going to go to Corinne and then to Jim Revolution if Jim Revolution turns off his camera. Hello, Corinne.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I have a question for my husband. We're doing the I-751. Um, we got the extension paper. He did his biometric appointment last week. So now it's just the waiting game of whatever, they tell us like, okay, it's approved. His concern is that he needs to go like travel to his home country, Dominican Republic, to get some dental stuff done. And he's concerned that even with the paper they gave him that says, hey, you can travel back and forth, that with like all the stories on the news and stuff of them like not letting people in, he doesn't want that to happen. And so I think he should be fine because he's got the paper that says, hey, your green, once your permanent residency expires, you should have the 48-month extension. But I just wanted to double check with you and see what you thought.
Which is more important to your husband, his nasty ass teeth, or being able to stay in the United States with you?
Yeah, I would say stay in the United States.
Yeah. So I would say now is not the time
Okay.
to be traveling for dental work. It's funny, you're the second person to ask me about this the other day. Apparently, hair transplants in Turkey are a thing. I'm sure everyone in
Yeah.
the talks about that. And actually, that might make a good TikTok. Would you rather have hair implants or get to stay in the
Yeah.
United States? So yeah, I vote until at least he has a full 10-year green card, but really not until he's a citizen. What I'm telling people right now, Corinne, is unless you're a citizen, let's sit tight until the end of the year and see, so we can see if things settle down with the craziness at CBP.
Yeah.
Most people come and go, no problem. But the problem is, if you're the 1 out of 100 or the 1 out of 1,000 that gets jammed up, then what happens?
Yeah, I agree. Because I told him, I was like, normally, like, I don't stress about stuff like this. I'm like, oh, it's fine. But, like, the other day, I didn't have a good feeling about it. And I wasn't even thinking about it. And I was like, well, I don't feel good about it. And he's like, well, let me check with the lawyer. So I was like, oh, I've, like, had questions for you before. And,
Yeah,
like,
perfect.
everybody knows you. So,
Right. And we talk about, I mean, I've been making content about this regularly. I've been saying the same thing since January 20th, even before things got crazy. But now that things are crazy, I mean, they're not letting in green card holders. So,
yeah.
I vote no.
Well, thank you so much. And I'll tell him that I spoke with a highly recommended
Yeah,
lawyer.
just have him watch and tell him sorry for making fun of his teeth.
No, he don't care. I'd be like, listen, it's like you said, is it your teeth or you're like
Yep.
being able to live here?
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much,
Bye,
Jim.
friend. See ya. All right. Somebody I know even went to Turkey to get like almost like a stomach stapling. It sounded like they got part of their intestines done to try to help them lose weight. And when they showed up, it was in like the basement of this building. I'm all for saving money. I'm all for saving money. I would defer to Nurse Laura if we should go to Turkey to have somebody operate, like a veterinarian, operate on our intestines. I think, I don't know. Seems like a little dangerous to me. All right, I'm gonna hit Jim Revolution, Baba, and A Raza. Jim, hello.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jim. Is the sound clear, please?
Yeah, you sound great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. As always, like I do say, your resources has been what has kept us on, and it has helped us 485-751. We are going this time around. It's still your resources. I've
Awesome.
always been of the opinion that you should allow us to have a place where we can chip in a penny or two. I know the last time I brought it up, you didn't really like it, but
All
I
good.
will still insist that that should be done so that this service continue to run and to serve as a great guide for us.
I appreciate that. Thanks so much for the thought.
Yeah, but let me just go straight to the point. I'm having an I-751 coming up. The evidence look pretty great. We have twins coming up. We have 3 years of taxes filed, all everything we have very, very well organized and all that. My only problem and fear is that throughout this journey till the citizenship, I overstayed my visa and I fear this is going to rear its head again. What appropriate response can I give to them if that thing come up in any interview or something next year when I do my citizenship? Because I know for the 751, we have twins, we have everything that we stay together, we bought a house, very, very good investment, so many things together. So I just want to know what legal advice you could give in this regard.
Can you walk me through your sort of immigration history?
I came with a B1, B2. I overstayed. I came first time. I left in 9 days. I came back again. I overstayed like a year. I met my wife. We got married. We went back to our home country. We got married there. We had kids. We had a house. We work pretty well. We do everything together. That is the issue. Yeah.
Okay. So when did you go back to the home country? After you got your green card?
So I use an advanced parole to go back. But let me also say that anytime I go and come back, they catch me in secondary inspection, but they don't ask me any question, then they let me go again. It's about 3 times.
Okay, I guess what I'm wondering, okay, so let's talk about the trip, which would, I guess, be your second. You married your wife on your second trip to the United States, right?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So when did you enter the United States for that trip, roughly?
I entered in February 14th, 2021, and I married my wife in December 2022.
In your home country?
No, here in America. Before in 2023, we went to marry in my home country.
So when you got married, you were out of status.
Yes, I was out of status. That's pretty
And then,
good.
but once you got married in December 2022, then your wife filed an I-130 and you filed a 485.
Yes, and I was approved in 2023. Yes.
But before you got approved, you went back home on advanced parole and had another wedding in your home country with your spouse.
Yes, please.
And so did you have an interview on your green card?
No, it was pretty straightforward without anything. Yeah, it was approved without an interview.
Okay. And okay. So fair to say, so I've been developing this theory lately, and I made a video about this the other day, or somewhere I was talking about it. Maybe it was on TikTok. So I've developed this theory that there's certain things that the Trump USCIS people are mad at the Biden USCIS people about, and that includes the fact that they were granting green cards to people without status or without an interview. Okay.
Yes.
So stay with me. So if we think that they're sort of mad or disgruntled, or they think it was unfair that people got their green cards without an interview, because, in Trump version 1, everybody had an interview for every kind of green card. So to them, the idea that anybody would get a green card through marriage when they're out of status, especially, that sort of like makes them want to scrutinize your case further. Now you have twins and it sounds like your marriage is solid and all that stuff. So I think everything should be fine, but I think that you'll probably have an interview on this, and they'll talk to you about it there, and they'll talk to you about it when you apply for naturalization. And I think they'll come at you pretty hard, not because of anything you did so much, but just because you're out of status and you got a green card without an interview, which they don't think is fair.
Oh, okay. So I want to submit this case in June for the 751.
Yeah.
Subsequently, next year, I'll submit citizenship. And when would it be the right time to contact you on this? Because I feel like with what is really happening all around, though I have some pretty solid evidence and everything, I feel like I still need representation.
Yeah, we'd be happy to do it just a month before any application. It takes us about a month to get a case ready to go out the door. So I would say a month before you're going to apply for the 751, a month before you apply for citizenship.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
Good questions. This is the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 804 of the show. Today is Sunday, April 6th. I'll be here for the next 40 minutes or whenever Nor comes screaming out of her math tutor lesson, and we'll continue with Baba. Hello, Baba. You're on mute.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. And you? Thanks for picking me today. I've always been here. I really appreciate. So, I don't know if you remember me. I'm the one that was supposed to go for an interview. Then you told me to cancel it due to my marriage. The marriage I was in, that I told you I have a kid I have a child out of the marriage.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the one. Now
back home, you had a kid back home or in
America?
No.
Here. No.
Okay.
Here. So, and I did that. I canceled the interview as you advised me to do. I did it and I didn't go. So now, my green card is going to be expiring in next year, March. So, can I still do the renewal for the green card?
Well, let's back up. So what interview did you have that you, first of all, I would never tell someone flat out, you should cancel your interview. That's a decision for you to make. I wouldn't make that decision for you. I would tell you your options and let you decide. So
Yeah.
I doubt that I flat out said cancel the interview, but what kind of an interview was it? Was it a 751? Was it an N400?
It's for the for my naturalization citizen. You
Okay.
said it's very dangerous because I was in a marriage and I went out to have kids
Mhm.
out of the marriage.
And you applied for citizenship on the 3-year rule?
You said?
You applied for citizenship based on your marriage to a U.S. citizen under the 3-year rule instead of waiting for 5 years, right?
I didn't apply for the citizen under the marriage. We divorced and I went to do the citizenship by myself.
Got it. And I was worried that when you fill out your N400, you'll have to list that kid, and then they're going to probably go after your green card, right?
Yes.
Well, I would say that, obviously you got to be honest on your I-90, and if it asks for kids, you got to list your kids. I think that it might get renewed without them picking up on the fact. A lot of I-90s get approved because there's a lot less scrutiny than there are for N400s, but there's obviously no guarantee. But if your green card's expiring, you sort of don't have a choice but to file it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So one more thing, I mistakenly I misplaced my green card, and I mistakenly applied for it. I thought this 2025 was when I'm going to due to renew my green card, but mistakenly, which I was supposed to file for replacement of the one that was lost. So now they email me, they send me a letter back now. They said, let me read it out to you.
Okay.
They said you have filed for replacement of your permanent resident card, which when the existing card has expired or will be expiring within 6 months. USCIS system shows that your existing card will not expire until March 09, 2026. Since your permanent resident card has not expired or is not within 6 months of expiring, please provide the reason you are filing for I-90. That is what they wrote back to me.
Yeah, so it sounds like you didn't make it clear to them that you were filing for a replacement, not for renewal. You used the same form. And just to be clear, the green card that you lost was a 10-year green card, right? Not a 2.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Yeah. So you didn't make it clear to them that you were filing for a replacement green card. They thought you were filing for renewal, and like you said, they thought you filed it too early. So you just need to notify them that it's a replacement, not a renewal.
Okay, and they will send me a replacement to me back.
God willing. Yeah, if they do what they're supposed to.
Okay.
Thanks, Baba.
Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we're giving big ups, big salams to all the yardies. All right. I wonder how Donna's doing. I hope she's having fun. Probably eating some mangoes on the beach or some such thing. We're going to go to A. Raza, Bren, RJ, and Chan. We're just lining them up. I have a friend named Asam Raza. Hello.
Hey, Jim. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Or picking me. I have a weird thing going. My wife's case has been DQ'd since 2022, and we just been waiting on the interview. It seems from forums we see that other people who have been DQ'd after us at the same location in the same category have been picked or have had their interviews, but ours is not showing up.
Which consulate and which case type?
Okay, it's EB3. I got mine as a change of status in the US. EB3, and she was a follow to join on that. So we were at Abu Dhabi first, but then a year into it, we saw the notification from the State Department saying that if there is any other places that you could transfer, that is faster. So we had the opportunity to transfer to Oman, Muscat, Oman. So now we have been waiting in Oman for another year. over a year now. So,
Are you
but
still working for the same employer?
yes,
Okay. And what is the job?
it's IT project management. I believe the title was. Yeah.
What passport does your spouse have?
What's that?
What country's passport does your
Oh,
spouse have?
Pakistan.
And you?
Pakistan.
Okay. All right.
But
When?
her her country of chargeability is United Arab Emirates, so it is Dubai. Yeah.
What? Oh, what was I going to ask you? When did the State Department first receive the case?
20 like my case originally.
No, anything having to do with her.
Oh, 2022.
2022, and that's when she got DQ'd in 2022 as well.
Yes, November 2022 is when she got DQ'd. Yes.
Like early 2022, State Department gets the case, and she gets DQ'd in November of 2022.
Yes.
And you're saying other people in that consulate are getting processed with priority dates that are older than yours.
Oh, newer than ours. Yes.
Newer.
So even 2023, 2024 DQs have been already got the interview letters in Muscat, and they
Yep.
they're already in the US as well. Yes.
I think we need to sue them.
Okay. Is that there are good chances on that? Because I did contact you guys earlier.
Yeah, the one. So we've sued them almost now 2,100 times, right? It's like the thing we do the most.
Mm-hmm.
And historically, the only times they really fight us with a motion to dismiss, which is basically them saying to the judge, Raza and his wife haven't waited long enough. There's nothing really for you to see here. Just let us do our job. National security, 221G. And then the judge might listen to him. The judge might not. The only time we really get those motions is when there has not been an interview. But the lawsuits still work 55-60% of the time when there hasn't been an interview. So if you're seeing people ahead of you going first ahead of you, then I think the only way you're going to get them to move now or a year from now is to sue them. So I certainly can't guarantee that it's going to work, but I think it's your best bet. And if it were me, that's what I would do.
Okay. One other opportunity we have is to move the case again to like Bahrain or back to Abu Dhabi or to Riyadh. Do you think that would make any difference at all?
No, I think that
Okay.
I think they're doing something, maybe because she's from Pakistan and has a chargeability of UAE, or they're just sitting on it because of CARP, or who the hell knows. But to me, the tell is it's been 2.5 years since it was DQ'd, and newer cases are getting finalized
Makes
before
sense.
you. Yep.
Okay. And then, so I'll contact you guys again. I did contact you guys earlier, but at that time, I guess I didn't, I felt like it was a very 50-50 chance from what I was understanding, talking to the intake. So we didn't move ahead at that time.
Still is about a 50-50 chance, but I mean, you've been waiting 2.5 years now.
Yeah,
so.
now it's 2.5. Yeah,
Yeah.
true. All right.
Awesome. Yeah,
Thank
just
you so much.
email back whoever. Do you remember who you were talking to in intake?
I don't remember, but I will have that email. So I'll go ahead and email back.
Yeah, and CC info at, just to be sure. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
See you, Raza. All right. Trying to get it done. 2.5 years seems like BS to me. Bren, hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. How are you doing?
I am so excited. I've been listening to you for almost a year and I never can get through. So thank you for everything you're doing. You're wonderful, man.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Okay. So I'm a senior citizen and so is my husband. And we got married in Nigeria. That's where he's from.
Okay.
He has, we have the same amount of kids with the same 3 boys, 1 girl. And we got married last October on the 4th. And I submitted the 130 on November 4th. October, we got married 4th, and I submitted them. I was back in America. And so my thing is, what does, is anything that he needs to do in Africa, over in Nigeria, while we wait for the 130 to be approved? Is there anything he needs to do?
No. By the way, I too have 3 boys and a girl, so we
Oh,
have
wow.
that in common. Yeah. So congratulations on getting married. So it was just 2024 that you got married.
Yes.
Okay.
October.
Has he ever been to the United States before?
Never.
Has he ever applied for a visa to the United States before?
Never.
Good. And then
Mhm.
tell me about how many times someone at your door?
Yes, it's my son, my youngest son.
Nice.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. Yes. So no, he's never been to the United States before,
How many
that was.
how many
I'm sorry.
times?
Go ahead.
It's okay. How many times was he married before he married you?
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. He was married one time for 39 years. His wife passed away in 2020. I was married one time for 40 years. My husband passed away in 2018.
Well, let me just say, Bren, that I love that you've got love and that you got things cooking at the senior stage of life. I'm very, very proud of you. You should be very, very proud of yourself. I'm happy about the whole thing. In
Thank
answer
you.
to your question, no, there's nothing for him to do. He's just chilling.
Okay. So I don't even know what to do because neither one of us has ever dealt with any immigration matters or anything at that point. So when he
So
gets the interview,
yeah,
we just don't know what to expect.
yeah, so I'll walk you through it. So here's what's going to happen. So you have an I-130 petition, you're a US citizen, you filed for your spouse. That case is probably going to end up taking about 15 months. So you filed it in November, so probably this time next year, maybe a little earlier, you'll get approved at USCIS, and then your case will get sent to this place called the National Visa Center. That's part of the State Department. And that's where the State Department, so USCIS is in charge of determining whether or not your marriage to this fella is real. And then State Department's job is to see whether or not they want to give him the visa. And so what'll happen is you'll pay some more fees, and then you'll file this electronic form called the DS-260, which is a lot like the I-130, but you're switching from one agency to another. So you'll fill out this online form, and you'll also have to show that you can support your husband financially if he comes, right? So I don't know if you're still working, but you're going to need income on your tax returns for the last 3 years if you're a single person of around $35,000. If you don't have that, then you'll still have to submit your tax returns. You'll still have to submit that form, but you'll need a co-sponsor who's a green card holder or a U.S. citizen.
Oh my God, I'm disabled and I haven't filed taxes in years.
Yeah, well, one of the ways they make sure that U.S. citizens pay their taxes is they don't give their husbands visas if they don't have their tax returns in order. So it's funny, you called to ask me, Jim, does he have to be doing anything in Nigeria? And the answer to that is no. But our friend Bren has lots to do in the United States because you gotta have tax returns for 2025, 2024, and 2023.
Oh my God, I don't know what to do. I haven't filed taxes in years.
Yeah,
I guess I'll go talk to her.
Yeah, you have to talk to an accountant. Even if you had zero income or just disability income, you just have to actually file the tax returns because you do not pass go, you do not collect $200. You'll get stuck this time next year. You'll just be flat stuck. So the good thing is you do have time. And the other good thing is you don't have to deal with Nigerian divorce decrees, which is also good. But he has a death certificate for her.
Yes, I sent all that in with the I-30, and then I sent in an I-30A and a spousal and a I-129F, I think it was.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't worry about that. That won't do anything. But then after they're happy that you have a co-sponsor, because you're going to need a co-sponsor, it can be your son. It just has to be a green card holder or a U.S. citizen who says, if Pops comes to the United States from Nigeria and Pops gets government benefits and Pops can't pay them back, then Bren will pay them back. If Bren doesn't pay them back, then Jimmy, the co-sponsor, will pay back those benefits for Pop. So with an older guy, sometimes people are a little bit reluctant to do that. So that's one thing to keep in mind because it takes a little while to get them on health insurance. So Bren's homework is to get her taxes in order and find a co-sponsor. Pops's homework is to sit and chill and hope you come to visit him. And then after the National Visa Center is done, then I don't know if you heard the last caller, but basically what happens then is they'll say, okay, this case is DQ'd, documentally qualified, and then you're just waiting for an embassy interview in Nigeria. And right now, I think that's like 14, 15 months.
Okay, so I have to, you said do a DX265. Do I wait till I'm approved or whatever from the 130?
Yeah, it's a DS260. That'll be the next stage. You can't do that now. Yep.
Oh, it's a 260?
DS2. Here's the way I think of it. The I-130 is half of 260. So it's DS2. It's the I-130, then it's the DS260. And yeah, that'll all be later. First, you have to pay your extra fees, which are like $425, and then you'll have to fill out those forms online. You have to upload all that evidence all over again because it's a new agency. It's like sort of like starting over, but it's faster because it's electronic. And then once they're happy with your taxes and with your co-sponsor, and that your co-sponsor makes enough money, then they say case DQ'd, and then you're just waiting in line for an interview in Nigeria.
I have to go to Nigeria for an interview.
No, he'll go by himself, but you should go. Are you planning on going to visit him from time to time? How many times have you visited him?
I'm last year, and I'm going back in September.
So you married him on the first trip when you met him?
Yeah, we've been talking over a year.
Okay. Well, I would say keep visiting him if you can afford it.
Okay. So,
right.
Okay, so may I just repeat this back? So I have to wait until I get a response back from the 130. Once I get that response back, then I file a DX260 online with a $425 fee.
DS,
and I have to
DS like Department of State. DS.
Oh, DS.
Yep,
260. Got it.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, and then, oh gosh, and then I have to show taxes of nothing if I didn't get anything but disability for 3 years, 25, 24, 23.
That's right.
I'm so happy to talk to you. Thank you so very much.
Thanks, Bren. Keep us posted, okay?
I will do that. Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye. All right, we're just dispensing wisdom left and right, giving it out for free because we want to help as many people as we can. That's what we're about. People are like, I want to chip in. I want to give you a little something. We get cases off this every now and then. The vast majority of people who watch the show or call the show never hire us, but we're happy to work with those who do. And so if you're thinking about hiring us, call us at 314-961-8200 or email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Yeah. I mean, if I'm Bren, I'd be trying to talk to my 3 sons and my daughter about trying to scrape together some money to get a lawyer. Because I hate to say it, the I-130 is the easy part. The rest of it is the hard part. Yeah, a couple people are. Robert hired us. Yes, he did. Yeah, we're happy. We love working with our clients on the show. I can't wait to go. If any way, shape, or form, I get to go to Nurse Lara's naturalization interview, and I guess it'll be in California, not even Seattle anymore. I was always picturing like that'll be a good day. The chance to work with the people on the show. That's always a good thing. Would have loved to have represented Benson. Glad I never represented Shabazz. All right, let's talk to RJ. Hello.
Hey, hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
So, yeah, I have a question regarding the change of address request. So, in February 2025, I submitted an online change of address request through my USCIS account.
Okay.
And however, the status of the request still shows as submitted, and there has been no update since then. And at the time of the submission, I did not provide a receipt number as I currently do not have any pending cases with the USCIS. So my question is, what would be the next step?
Do you have proof that you updated it?
Yes.
Then I would stop thinking about this and just leave it be. You did what you're supposed to do.
All right. So actually, when I submitted it online, so they are asking about the pending receipt number. So that is mandatory to provide even though I don't have any pending receipt?
Right. No. You don't have anything. You can't give it to them.
All right. Yeah.
Bye, RJ. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
See ya. All right. Let's go to Chan. Hello, Chan.
Hi, Jim. Great show. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
So I have 3 questions for you. So one of them is I have a child. She's 11. I got her U.S. passport for her. But however, due to financial reasons, she stays with her dad back home. She does come Christmas, summer, and Easter. Um, so my question is, I want to file the certificate of citizenship for her. Do I file N600 or do I file N600K?
Is there going to be a time sometime in the future where she's living in the United States?
Yes. This year. Yeah, the ending of this year.
I would just do
Basically.
an N600 once she gets here.
Okay. And then, okay, thank you. And then I have another question. So it wouldn't be any issues for her then, even though she has the US passport coming through, right? They wouldn't trouble her or anything?
I don't
Or
think so.
ask me any questions?
How is it that she's a U.S. citizen? Was she born here?
No, she was derived by me.
Okay, so you're a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried about this. She should be fine.
Okay.
How does she usually travel? Do you go get her or what?
She travels by herself and sometimes she comes with me. But she hasn't traveled with me since she got the passport. However, she has traveled by herself last Christmas using the US passport.
Okay. How'd that go? Okay.
That went fine. I just went to get her at the airport and I signed and everything.
Great.
Okay. So my next question is also for an adult. Same thing, but she only comes she's an 80-year-old. So she wants to find out if she can file. She's an LPR. She travels basically just to come for doctor's appointments and stuff. She basically spends like 2 weeks and then leaves again. So that's my question. Can she file the N400 or she's been married over the 3 year because she was married to a US citizen. So it's been over 3 years, but she doesn't stay here basically. She retired back home.
So I got a green card holder
Mm-hmm.
who spends 2 weeks out of 52 in the country each of the last 3 years.
Yeah, or every 6 months or every 4 months she comes 2 weeks for the year.
Okay.
Basically.
First of all, she can't apply for citizenship. When you apply for citizenship, you have to have lived in the United States for half the time. So if you're applying under the 3-year rule, you have to have a total of, a year and a half plus a week in the United States. You can't 6 weeks a year over the last 3 years is not enough time in the United States. So she can't apply for citizenship.
Okay, so when do you think that she can do that? Like
when she lives in the United States for at least 2 full years with her spouse.
Okay.
But here's the bigger thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is for everybody. These days, the days of somebody 80 years old having a green card and living in the United States 3 or 4 weeks a year, that shit's over. That is over. They are revoking green cards. They're putting people in removal. They're trying to take away green cards. So, if remember, you always have to remember, the name of the card is a permanent residence card. So this idea that old people get a green card to come see their kids because it's easier than going to the embassy and getting a visa, that shit is over. So if she's serious about wanting to become a citizen and she's serious about residing in the United States, she needs to flip everything you just told me on its head, go back home 2 weeks out of the year. But I think, when was the last time she was in the United States?
She was here recently. I think we're in April. So she was here, I believe, in February.
Did they give her any trouble when she came?
Not that I'm aware of.
I think they're going to start making her life very uncomfortable.
Okay. Understood.
Yep.
And then my third question. All right. So in January, filed SIJS based on temporary custody. Submitted the document. However,
Wait. Who are you talking about? This is a different person?
This is a different case. Yes. And my third question.
Who is this person?
A family member.
Why are you filing cases for family members? Are you a lawyer?
No. I'm not doing it. I'm just asking a question.
Okay, what's the question?
So the question is in regards to the adjustment of status. Can we submit that adjustment of status after, or we have to wait until the I-360 form is approved?
I've never done an SIJ case, so I'm not entirely sure, but I would most likely think you have to wait until the I-360 priority date is current or if it's approved. I just don't know.
Okay. All right, then. I think that's it. Thank you.
See ya. Bye. All right. I got Sally Good News here. Hello, Sally. Sally, are you there? She's got some good news, but she's got a trippy background. I don't know what's going on. Let's go to Tess Lima. Hello. Tess Lima, you're on mute.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So my question was, my husband is finally in the United States. I applied for him a few years ago, and he entered March 5th. We got his social security card about a week after he came, and we're just waiting on the green card. On his DS-260, we had checked the box where it said that we wanted it mailed to us. And, we're just looking for jobs and stuff for him right now. He has an upcoming job interview at this bank that he applied for, and I just want to make sure we provide the right documents when they ask for IDs and stuff, because like with me, since I'm a US citizen, usually I would give like my driver's license and maybe social security card. With him, what do I do since he doesn't have his green card yet?
You paid the Ellis fee as well?
Yeah, I paid every fee or anything that they mentioned, I kept up to date with.
So there's this fee called the Ellis fee that you pay for them to actually send the green card after the visa is approved, but before he comes.
Mm-hmm.
So you paid that?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah, I paid all the fees. I made sure to like check the documents like many times to see if there's any missing thing.
Okay, and okay, so most employers would expect him to have a green card or some kind of proof of authorization to work in the United States, a work card or a green card, right? So
Right.
an I-551 stamp in the passport is proof that he's a lawful permanent resident. Whether or not you can get an employer to understand what that means and that it is valid status is a big question. I think most employers would scratch their heads and say, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can hire him.
Okay. So what do you recommend I do while I wait for the green card?
Well, what I usually say is people in your husband's spot, I call them bubble boy or bubble girl. They're sort of sitting on the shelf.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thanks, Tess Lima.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yep. Good luck. Hopefully they'll take it. All right. Sally says, I want to hire you, but never had a call back. My parents lost their passports, but have a copy of the entry stamp and visa. However, the passports were lost back in the early 2000s. Their I-94 doesn't pop up. Well, what do you want to apply for, Salvi? That's the question, I guess. All right, let's go to Jay. Hello, Jay.
Hey, Jim. Happy Sunday.
Thank you.
So a couple quick questions. One is I'm waiting on an N400 interview. Applied back on based on a 3-year rule. Applied back in July of 2024. So we're coming in about 8.5 months now. When do those usually get scheduled? If you have that.
Depends where you live. What field office would conduct your interview?
New York.
Yeah, so they're super busy. I would let people, first of all, I would post in the Immigrant Home Facebook group that we have, post in there and say, my name's Jay. I filed for naturalization in such and such a month. Okay. And say, is it Manhattan or is it
Manhattan?
Yeah. I would imagine it's about a year, but I just don't know.
Got it. And second question was may have a job opportunity coming up in maybe a month or two. We don't know when the start date is yet, but it's going to be in Texas. So thinking of relocation, but then also thinking about, this application as well.
Yeah.
How much does that, mess with things?
I would say 4 or 5 months.
Okay. As in, so add after moving, add on.
Yeah, but play it straight. Like, don't play games and say, "Oh, I'm sort of moving to Texas. I'm sort of not. I'm going to leave my case in New York because I think that they still might interview me." If you're living in Texas and you show up for an interview in Manhattan, it would really piss them off.
Got it. All right. Well, thanks, Jim.
Good luck, Jay. See you, buddy. I liked his icon. All right, let's go to Hammad. Hello, Hammad.
Hey, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes. What's up?
All right. Thanks for doing this. I got a couple interesting questions for you. So, following my dad's immigration case, I'm a U.S. citizen, filing for my dad. So his case is currently at the National Visa Center, and I'm actually applying for you guys. So thanks for helping me out with that. Sure. But the interesting question is, he recently got a B2 visa. He came here about a month ago. He plans on staying here for 3 weeks and then leaving back. He has a Somali passport. And the question is he did not have intention on staying here, but he heard about if you can do adjustment of status while he's here on a B2 visa, or is it better for him to go back and then just wait the case out with the National Visa Center?
Did you say Somalia?
Yeah. The ban is in the news, and he works over there. He doesn't have intention of moving here until the case is over. So it's not like he was planning on that. But when the ban came on the news, he's like, should we consider that?
I think it's a great thing to consider. I would wait more than 60 days after he applied, and I would probably switch it from an overseas case to an adjustment case, because I think there's a good chance. Like, let's just walk it through. Let's say that you let it process at USCIS, and then the ban comes in. If the ban comes in, it's going to be on the books at least until January of 2029.
Okay.
So I think that's a complete justification for someone applying for adjustment when they started the case as a consular processing case. And, you can prove that he bought a round trip ticket, that he had a job lined up, or that he had a job that he did, and that he had to resign the job because he felt stuck in the United States, but he wanted to be here with his son and he had no other choice.
Got it. Okay. Makes sense. So yeah, we'll go ahead and work with our lawyer.
Yeah, cool.
In law and kind of.
Thanks, Hammad.
Yeah. Another quick question. So, if a minor had a green card through a lottery, and they spent 6 years or 7 years outside the United States, and then moved to the United States when they were 18, and they're trying to file for citizenship after spending 5 years in the United States, does the fact that minor stayed outside the United States for 6 years while being a green card holder be a deterrent to file the N-400?
It shouldn't.
Okay.
I mean, they might have a fight on their hands, but it's an approvable case.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you very much.
See you, buddy. Good questions. Like you said, you promised at the beginning. Those were good questions. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
See ya. All right. We got time for one or two more. I'm loving these icons today. Let's talk to MG. Hello.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for having me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
All right. I have a couple questions. So I'm doing the CR1 for my wife, and we were DQ'd in June of 24.
Okay.
We spoke with Congress to try to do those letters to help expedite, because I was in LA during the LA fires in January of this year, but they denied the expedite case.
Sure.
They always do, yeah.
When people are missing a lung or an arm, they deny them all the time.
Yeah. So we're just wondering, we've been waiting since June of 24, and we don't know how long it will take. She's in Egypt, and she's seeing other lawyers in Egypt saying that everyone is transferring their case to other countries like Saudi Arabia or Kuwait. But when I look them up, it says that you need to be a resident of those countries. So we're not sure what to do right now.
You're just chilling, bro. You're just waiting.
Okay.
You're just probably going to be August, September, something like that.
Oh, okay. Just to get the interview. And I saw you talking about to Raza about suing if it goes past a certain time. So if you're thinking if it goes past August or September, we don't get that interview, we should do that lawsuit.
We could, but I'd probably tell you at that point to wait a full 2 years before you sue. He's at 2.5 years. You're at,
Yeah.
you're at like 10 months.
Yeah. And then we're also CR1 and he's doing like an E or employment one kind of thing.
Same thing on that. That doesn't matter. Yours is actually stronger than his on that.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're saying it, and the U.S. Embassy, like in Cairo, is like about 15 months or so?
I mean, you should check an immigrant home, check on the boards and everything, see what they're seeing. But most people tell me it's a year and a half, something like that, year and 3 months, year and a half. But I don't know for sure.
Okay, got it. All right. Well, thank you for having me. I guess we'll continue to wait.
Thanks, buddy. All right. Rouse says, how do you let USCIS know that you're moving to another state so you don't mess up the case? You file an AR-11 and I'd probably notify the local field office. Craig says, it's amazing how a lot of these callers have lawyers already, but are on here asking Jim for advice with their case. Yeah, I think people just want to feel better. And, you know, I don't have cases. I don't carry a caseload. So I actually have time to talk to people. Lawyers that are handling cases don't always have time to talk to people. As counterintuitive as that sounds, I've just always made it a priority to talk to people. And I wanted to do it in a way that created content so that everybody could learn from each other. Instead of having closed doors, we used to have paid consults. And one Saturday I had 8 scheduled paid consults. 4 showed up, 4 didn't, and none of them turned into cases. And I said, F that. I'm done with paid consults. All we want to focus on are getting cases. If people want to hire us, call us and hire us. If you don't want to hire us, then consume all the free content and everything like that. Tony's asking, how's a new lawyer? Well, we got a bunch of new lawyers. So, we have our new lawyer from Jamaica. She's doing great, Brianna. And then we have 2 new lawyers, one in the St. Louis office, Jackson, and then a lawyer from Indiana just shut down her practice and joined us. So her name's Mallory, and she's very nice. So we're excited about that. Aubrey says, I'm a book editor. I stopped doing free sample edits. They got to pay for those sample edits now, not to waste my time. Ha! I love it. Gazorp, yes, we take cases in Texas. Yes, we do. I should probably just do like little Q&As off the comments at the end of the show. That would be sort of fun. All right, I'm going to go to Amora. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I'll try to make this as quick as possible.
You're great.
So we got married in November 2022, and we filed for the I-130 in June of 2023. We got DQ'd, I would say late 2024. But long story short, we went to the embassy in Barbados. We had an appointment, but we had to do the medical exam. Unfortunately, I guess he was nervous or whatever, but he went to a bachelor's party or whatever and consumed some edibles at that event. And then they drug tested him.
Yep.
The physician called us and said that she will defer the medical exam for 3 months, or we can come back after 6 months. And when this medical exam expires, to do a new one.
That was nice.
So yes, it really was, and I thanked her so much. So my question is, how do I now ask the embassy for an appointment date in October or whatever after the 6 months is over without like raising a red flag?
Do you already have an interview date?
We had one for March, but we rescheduled it online on the portal for April 22nd because that was the latest appointment available online.
I would just keep doing that.
Just keep rescheduling on the portal.
As far out as you can. Yep.
Okay, and then I've noticed that if you keep rescheduling, they may make you like repay your visa fees or something like that.
They might. Barbados is pretty chill though. It's not like you're talking about Germany or something.
Okay, so I would just go ahead and keep rescheduling online. Don't email them and ask them anything.
I mean, you could ask them, and you could try both. Like, see what the when to reschedule the April one, see what you get, and that was really nice. I've never had a doctor do that for somebody. So your husband must be a likable fellow.
Yeah, she was very nice to us. I think I used my people skills because when he answered the question, I knew, okay, it's time for you to kind of chum up this lady and speak to her nicely, Right. So I did that. So she called us back and just gave us the option. She said, you know what? I think you should just come back in September or whatever. Fine. Nice. So right now you're saying just go ahead and do it online on the portal as much as I can until they make me have to repay the visa fee, which I don't have a problem with at all.
Yeah.
I rather do that versus asking them directly for something.
Did you say this is a fiance case or a spouse case?
My spouse.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Just keep it alive as best you can, and then line up the medical, and hopefully things will work out. Keep me posted, okay?
Okay, one last question.
Sure.
He has a son. We did not file for him at the same time because the idea was for him to come first to the United States, get settled, and then he could send for his son.
Yeah.
But due to situations with his son's mom, she went ahead and gave his son to him. So now he lives with him.
And
So
he's how old?
he's 10.
And you're a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am.
So you filed a separate I-130 for the son?
Yes, we did it in January because that's when the living situation changed.
Okay, so to me, that's a perfect justification for emailing them and asking to put his whole case on hold until the son's case catches up.
Okay. Because if not, then, well, I mean, his son can stay with his grandmother, and then we could just wait that time or whatever.
I'm saying you've been given a silver, a great reason on a silver platter to postpone your husband's, and I would use that to the full extent that I can.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, Amora.
All right.
That's Amora. Looks like Noor's done, but she's a screenager now. She's taking pictures of her hair. We don't know why. Maybe she'll tell us here in a minute. Whoa. Oh, this camera zooms now on StreamYard. Her tutoring lesson's over, and now she's going to drive us. We're going to end the show before she drives, because last time I tried to do the show while she was still driving, and that was dangerous. So how did it go?
Good. Went good. I'm very smart.
Yeah, for sure. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, everybody. That'll end today's show. We'll be back tomorrow. It's going to be a late show tomorrow. Monday. 6 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. 6 p.m. Central. Oh, wait, you have soccer till 5:45?
When?
Oh, it might be later than 6. Oh, yeah, Nora's got a sleepover. Okay, they're off school. Okay, anyway, it'll be sometime late tomorrow night, probably around 6:37. Hope you guys all have... Yeah, Damie knows. She said, we remember the last time Nora drove. Thank you, Damie.
Guys, yeah, be scared, okay?
Yeah. All right, hold on. We're going to end the show. Don't start the car. All right, bye, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.